What if I told you that just $100 could change your entire financial future? We're going to show you exactly how to invest your first $100, step by step. I know what you're thinking. $100? That's nothing. That won't do anything. But here's what most people don't know. If a 25-year-old invests just $100 today, by the time they're 65, that $100 becomes over $2,100. And if they invest just $100 every single month, that becomes over $350,000. That's the power of compounding. But here's the sad truth. 57% of Americans have never invested a single dollar in their life. Not because they can't afford to, but because nobody ever showed them how. Until today. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to invest your first $100 in America, step by step, even if you know absolutely nothing about investing right now. Welcome back to Finovix Studio, the channel where we break down real money strategies for everyday Americans. We drop practical financial tips that actually work in the real world. Now, before we dive in, let's look at what we're covering today. First, why $100 is actually enough to start, and why you don't need a fortune. I want you to forget everything you think you know about investing. Forget the Wall Street guys in suits. Forget the complicated charts. Forget the people on TV talking about stocks like it's rocket science. Investing in 2026 is simpler than ever before. Everything is accessible from your phone, and $100 is genuinely enough to get started. Next up, we'll dive into the 5 best ways to invest your first $100, perfect for beginners looking for low-risk entry points. We'll cover everything from simple index funds to high-yield savings accounts that maximize your initial $100. Third, we'll expose the biggest mistake beginners make when starting their investment journey. This error costs Americans thousands every year. Stay tuned, because I'm going to show you one investment mistake that costs Americans thousands of dollars every single year, and almost nobody talks about it. Finally, we'll give you your exact action plan to start today. No more excuses, just a straightforward guide to making your first investment. This step-by-step guide will simplify the process of opening an account, funding it, and placing your very first $100 investment, even if you're a complete beginner. Remember, starting small is the most important step. Your financial future begins with action, not just theory. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Finovix Studio for more practical financial tips every week. Let's start building that future today. Tired of hearing you need thousands to start investing? I'm here to tell you why just $100 is actually enough to begin your journey to wealth. This isn't about being an expert. It's about utilizing the most powerful force in finance. Get ready to rethink how you see $100. Let's dive into the first part of our journey. Why $100 is actually all you need to start investing today. The secret weapon is compound interest. It is the engine that transforms small initial investments into substantial future wealth. Albert Einstein himself acknowledged this power, calling compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. That's how monumental it is. Once you truly grasp how compounding works, you will never look at $100 the same way again. It becomes a powerful seed for future growth. Let's walk through the mechanics of compound interest to see its magical effect. You invest $100. Assuming a 10% annual return, after 1 year, you now have $110. Next year, that $110 earns 10%. You're now up to $121. The growth accelerates. You didn't add a single dollar to the initial investment, but your money keeps growing because you're earning returns not just on your principal, but on your previous returns. Year 3, that's $133. Now, let's look at the sobering real numbers, demonstrating the cost of delaying your investment start date. If you're 20 years old and invest just $100 per month, by age 65, you could have over $1.1 million. If you wait until you're 30 to start, with the same $100 per month, you end up with just $380,000. It's the same amount of money invested, the same hypothetical returns, but waiting only 10 years cost you a staggering $720,000. This is the crucial takeaway. The single best piece of advice is to start today, not tomorrow or next year. Every single financial expert emphasizes this point. Start now. Don't procrastinate on your financial future. Due to compounding, $100 invested today is worth significantly more than waiting and investing $1,000 10 years from now. The best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time, and the time you must act, is today. Get started with that $100. Are you new to investing and wondering where to start? we're breaking down 2 essential investments that are perfect for beginners. We are focusing on the best starting points for almost every beginner investor, guiding you towards smart, long-term financial decisions. Let's start with investment number 1, index funds. This is honestly the best starting point for 99% of beginners due to its simplicity and proven track record. Index funds are the foundational building block for a solid investment strategy. Think of an index fund like this. Instead of buying stock in just one company, you're buying a tiny piece of hundreds of companies at the same time. The most popular one tracks the S&P 500, which includes the 500 biggest companies in America, like Apple, Microsoft, and Google, all in one investment. Index funds are perfect for beginners for a few reasons. Firstly, they are diversified. If one company fails, you still have hundreds of others protecting your investment. Secondly, historically, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% per year over the last 100 years. It's a powerful, consistent way to grow your money. Thirdly, the barrier to entry is extremely low. You can start with as little as $1 on apps like Fidelity or Charles Schwab, making it accessible to everyone. And fourthly, you don't need to know anything about picking stocks. You just buy and hold. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, literally said, most Americans should just put their money in an S&P 500 index fund and leave it alone. To start, download Fidelity or Charles Schwab. Open a free account. Search for VOO or SPY, which are popular S&P 500 index funds. Invest your $100. Done. You're now invested in 500 of the biggest companies in America. Now, let's move on to investment number 2, the Roth IRA. This is an absolute game changer that most young Americans completely ignore. If you are under 30, this account is crucial for building massive long-term wealth. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. The Roth version is special because of one incredible feature that changes everything. Your money grows completely tax-free. Let me say that again, tax-free. This means all your investment gains are yours to keep when you retire. In real life, a normal investment account might cost you $100,000 or more in taxes over your lifetime on withdrawals. With a Roth IRA, you pay 0 taxes on withdrawal, keeping the entire amount. The rules are simple. You can contribute up to $7,000 per year in 2026, and you need earned income, meaning you must have a job. You can open one for free at Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard. If you are under 30 right now, opening a Roth IRA is honestly one of the best financial decisions you will ever make in your life. Don't delay the power of tax-free growth. So how do you combine these 2 powerful investments to start your financial journey? Start with your first $100, put it in a Roth IRA, and then invest that money into an S&P 500 index fund inside the Roth IRA. With this strategy, you can sit back and watch your money grow completely tax-free for the next 30 to 40 years. It's that simple and powerful. Welcome back. Today we are covering investment number 3, the high-yield savings account, and the biggest mistakes beginners make when starting to invest. Now I know what you're thinking, a savings account isn't really investing, and you're partially right, but here's why this matters, especially if you're just starting out. We are talking about the high-yield savings account, often available through online banks, which offers much better returns than traditional savings accounts. Let's compare the difference between a traditional savings account and a high-yield savings account, or HYSA. The average regular savings account at big banks like Chase or Bank of America pays you a dismal 0.01% interest per year. In contrast, a high-yield savings account currently pays between 4 and 5% per year. With a regular savings account, putting in $1,000 earns you about 10 cents after 1 year. With an HYSA, that same $1,000 earns $40 to $50 per year. That's 400 times more. What are some of the best options for a high-yield savings account right now? Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally Bank, and SoFi all offer high-yield savings with no fees and no minimum balance requirements. Now, why does having a high-yield savings account matter for your first $100? Because before you invest in stocks, you need an emergency fund. Financial experts recommend saving up 3 to 6 months of expenses in an easily accessible emergency fund. Without an emergency fund, one unexpected car repair or medical bill could force you to sell your investments at the absolute wrong time, potentially losing money. So here is a practical strategy for your first $100, combining savings and investing. Put $50 in a high-yield savings account for your emergency fund and $50 in an index fund to start investing. Build both at the same time. Now, I promised you I'd share the biggest mistakes beginners make when it comes to investing. The number one mistake is waiting for the perfect time to invest. You hear, "I'll start when the market is lower," or "when I have more money." There is no perfect time. Waiting just 10 years can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential growth. The brutal truth is, just start now. The second biggest mistake beginners make is constantly checking their investments, sometimes every single day. Investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-slow strategy. Market fluctuations will happen, but don't panic and check constantly. Focus on consistent investment over time, not daily market movements. Patience is your best friend in long-term wealth building. To summarize, prioritize your emergency fund with a high-yield savings account, and don't delay starting your investment journey. Invest consistently and stay patient. That is the true path to financial success. Ready to take control of your financial future? Here are 7 simple steps to start investing today. It's time to stop thinking about investing and start doing it. Let's make this real. Remember this: every millionaire investor started small. You don't need a fortune to begin. The only difference between them and you is that they started. That's the biggest hurdle. Step 1. Download a brokerage app. This is your gateway to the market. We recommend reliable platforms like Fidelity or Charles Schwab to begin your journey. Step 2. Fund your account. You can start with a small amount. Don't overthink it. Add your first $100. This initial action is crucial. Step 3. Invest in an index fund. This is a low-risk, diversified way to start. Look for funds like VTI or an S&P 500 index fund, which track the overall market. Step 4. Automate your investments. Consistency is key to long-term success. Set up automatic investing monthly, even if it's a small amount. Time in the market beats timing the market. Step 5. Optimize for retirement. Maximize tax advantages for your future self. If eligible, open a Roth IRA. It allows your investments to grow tax-free. Step 6. Commit to growth. Investing is a journey, not a destination. Keep learning about personal finance and investing to improve your strategy over time. Step 7. Practice patience. The power of compounding takes time. The market will fluctuate, but stay the course. Long-term perspective wins. You now know more than most people about investing. The only question is, will you start? Start this week. Invest your first $100. Don't wait any longer. Your future self will absolutely thank you for starting today. Let's do this.